Our goal here at 6 Echo is to provide you with tools needed to help save a life. But we can't just stop there. We also want to provide you with education so that you understand when and why and how to use these tools. I'm Caleb Lovett. I'm the founder and owner of 6 Echo Systems. I'm a licensed critical care paramedic and a professional firefighter. I got my paramedic license and then worked for a couple years on a busy 911 service on the ambulance before transitioning over to the fire side, which is where I am currently. I have almost 12 years of experience in emergency services, and I'm certified here in the state of Tennessee as a state certified fire instructor, also fire officer 1 and 2, and I hold a lot of certificates in technical rescue disciplines such as rope rescue, water rescue, and the like. I've also taught and instructed in the emergency services for quite a while now. Some of the classes that I frequently teach are BLS and CPR, EMR or emergency medical responder, technical rescue disciplines such as rope rescue. I also teach some hazmat classes and other introductory fire courses as well. Some of the classes that I've gotten really passionate about are some of the tactical medicine classes, some of the civilian BLS, CPR, and bleeding control courses, and even the emergency medical responder for firefighters that are just starting to get their feet wet into medicine. I really have a passion for teaching medicine to people because some of these life-saving interventions that people are not aware about can ultimately mean the difference between life and death for an individual. After I went to EMT and then paramedic school, I constantly had friends and family asking for advice on first aid kits or basic medical advice or what they should be carrying with them, how to treat a severe injury. And it was brought to my attention that there was a lot lacking in the world of first aid education and true first aid kits. You can go buy a first aid kit off of Amazon or an OSHA approved first aid kit, but they don't have tourniquets or anything for really severe injuries. In the workplace, if there's a severe injury, they say call 911 and wait for the ambulance to get there. But when you live in rural America like I do, you may not be able to wait the 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes that it takes for emergency services to get to your house or your workplace. Also, at the scene of mass casualties, a lot of the life-saving interventions that are performed are done by bystanders and not the emergency responders responding to the scene, simply because the emergency responders are so overwhelmed with the number of patients to treat. With the help of a friend, we set out to put together first aid kits for everyday civilians that not only had some of the basics like Band-Aids, but also had some of the more critical aspects of first aid, such as tourniquets and chest seals. Due to some employer changes at the time, we had a little bit of a slow start getting up off the ground with the launch of this company. But several years later, now here we are with the content that you're seeing and the equipment that's available on our website. As we started packing these kits and selling these kits, the business started to grow. We had more educational opportunities to be able to teach in-person classes. And then eventually we were able to launch a YouTube channel where we were able to put some of that information out on the web accessible to anyone for free. One challenge that we faced when trying to teach in-person classes to people is that it takes 1 to 2 man-hours from me in order to be able to teach 1 hour worth of lecture to someone. There's sign-ups and forms and cleanup and takedown after the class, all for a short 2-hour, 4-hour, maybe even 8-hour, 16-hour class. So it wasn't practical for me to be in a bunch of places at one time teaching people. And when I teach a class, I can only hold so many people before I have to bring in additional instructors, pay them as well, which causes the price of the class to go higher. And then it just becomes a little bit more of logistics that we have to deal with in order to be able to get these classes out to people. These classes are usually capped at 12, 16, 20, maybe 30 people max. So it's very limited the amount of people that we can reach with this education and this knowledge. So this is one reason that we really wanted to push putting out educational content on YouTube. This does not replace in-person classes. You need to go to these in-person classes, actually practice on CPR mannequins that give feedback of how well you're compressing so that you can really learn these skills. Same thing with bleeding control. You want to be able to practice on props, wound pack, and do that type of thing. But for us in our mission, we can reach more people by putting these videos out on YouTube, which are free to you and allow us to be able to disseminate this information quicker. And then you can team up with some locals in your area to where you can now go and get some of that in-person training as well. So the scope of our YouTube channel is to be able to provide education on first aid for both the layperson and the professional rescuer. But our priority is really for the layperson that may not have a lot of background and understanding in some of these rescue or first aid techniques. When we talk about first aid, we're not talking simply about just medical care. That is a huge aspect, and ultimately that may be what we are trying to accomplish by helping somebody, is providing medical care to them. But there's a lot of other aspects that surround this as well that we're trying to cover here on the YouTube channel. Being able to access the patient, being able to rescue the patient from an imminent threat, such as an injured person inside a car that's on fire. Also self-rescue, to be able to get ourselves out of a bad situation before we get injured to the point of where we would need medical care. So our YouTube channel is our main outlet to be able to get educational content out to the public. Our website, on the other hand, does have some training aids, such as patient care reports, even some 3D models that you can use to 3D print and create your own wound packing props, and some other educational resources available. But our website is primarily for our sales of our medical gear and equipment. When we started the website, we started with simple bags, and we put trauma supplies and band-aids and packed them in there to make a more robust first aid kit than you could find just about anywhere else online. Since that time, we've been able to develop some of our own products, such as the Kicker ankle kit. The Kicker is one of our most popular products, and it's an easy way to be able to conceal medical kit around your ankle, underneath your pant leg, so that you can inconspicuously have medical equipment with you at all times and be prepared to be able to react and respond if someone has a life-threatening injury. Another place that you might find us is Instagram. We have an Instagram account, and we like to use that to be able to connect with other people, other businesses, other individuals that are needing gear or training, and that has been a great platform to be able to disseminate more of this information out to the public. So while we do sell medical gear and equipment, equipping people is only part of our goal. The other part of our goal is to instruct and to educate people on how to use these tools and give people the confidence they need so that they can respond when seconds matter.